On the news tonight, fuel pump price jumps over 500 naira as subsidy removal takes effect. Governor Adeleke tasked new permanent secretaries on due process in the civil service. Right group cautions Pakistan over trial of civilians in military court. Good evening and welcome to the major report. I am Kayode Adebayo. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has officially increased fuel pump price to more than 500 naira in different parts of the country. It was gathered that NNPC station pegged fuel price at 537 naira per litre in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu, during his inaugural address, announced that petrol subsidy was gone with no budgetary allocation to fund it. He said government funding subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. Reports indicate pricing variety in different parts of Nigeria, meaning a sharp increase from the previous 184 naira official pump price to more than 500 naira. NNPC spokesman Garbadin Muhammad, in a statement, said the increase in price was an adjustment to current market realities, indicating petrol subsidy removal. President Tinubu's speech was initially greeted by long queues at petrol stations across the country, with many citizens being unaware of the cause of the sudden fuel scarcity. NNPC, however, assured Nigerians of its commitment to ensuring a ceaseless supply of the product. Oil marketers have confirmed the hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, to over 500 naira per litre, depending on the location of purchase. A document that emanated from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited showed that the latest cost of PMS in various states and the Federal Capital Territory. Figures in the document indicated that while the cost of petrol in Borno State was put at 557 naira per litre, the prices in Lagos, Abuja, Enugu and Ekiti were outlined as 488 naira per litre, 537 naira per litre, 520 naira per litre and 500 naira per litre respectively. Although officials of NNPCL and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority kept mute about the document when contacted, oil marketer told newsmen that the document was authentic. The controversy surrounding the removal of petrol subsidy by the federal government has continued to rage on. This is just as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) officially announced 500 naira as the pump price of petrol in Osun State. A report of the week focuses on subsidy removal and its implication for the people and the country. Oluchi Amuda has the details.
Nigeria is one of Africa's largest producers of crude oil, and it relies heavily on this source for its economic growth. In addition, oil makes up much of Nigeria's GDP and provides employment for many of her citizens. One major commodity gotten from crude oil is petrol. Premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol, is one of the most important commodities in the world as it provides the energy needed for vehicular movement. It's also used in powering generators for electricity as well as other equipment that rely on petrol as a source of energy. In Nigeria, the PMS plays a vital role in the stability of the economy, as every other sector relies heavily on the transportation sector powered by petrol. Little wonder why petroleum pricing has remained a highly significant issue in the country, as Nigeria relies on oil for its economic stability. Hence, fixing the price of petrol is always of great concern to the leaders and the led. Over the years, the Nigerian government has been implementing fuel subsidies to keep the price of petrol affordable to Nigerians. The subsidies come in the form of government intervention to reduce the cost of fuel by providing direct financial support to oil companies, and as such, subsidize the product to consumers. The federal government has consistently maintained that the subsidies are unsustainable and must be removed. Immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari had already made it clear that the subsidy regime will end by June this year. President Bola Tinubu, however, announced the total end of subsidy regime at his inaugural speech.
On fuel subsidy, unfortunately, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assumed office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. So fuel subsidy is gone. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever increasing cost and the wake of dry resources.
Elder B. Adelowo is a politician. He commended President Tinubu for having the political will to put an end to fuel subsidy, adding that Nigerians will benefit from it in the long run.
We should commend the president for the boldness to take that decision. And the issue of fuel subsidy is not a new thing in Nigeria today. It has been a recurrent decimal. So, and we have elected a president since February, and it's been sworn in May. We have 3 months for him to prepare ahead. So for him to make that statement, he must have consulted, he must have prepared a lot of things to let them know. Nigeria should not just be exercise patience. You see, new government, new challenges. People should come up with new ideas, what they want to do. Now, apart from prayer that this government, everybody should have something doing with this government positively. But at the same time, we must prepare ahead. Because there are a lot of challenges.
Following the announcement, many filling stations were locked up by the runners and the price of petrol skyrocketed, which seems not to go down well with the majority of the masses. Mrs. Oluwakemi Adeyo and Labisi Akanji said it is unthinkable that it will come to a time when a litre of petrol will be sold for 500 naira in Nigeria. They noted that government should have ensured that the refineries were in good shape before putting an end to subsidy regime.
Buy fuel 500 naira per litre NNPC. Nigeria no easy. Everything done dey hard to eat now. Na wahala. Cut jotori alone. May them help us. Life is no easy. We beg government to make them help us. We beg them.
Then I saw many queue at Bovas, likewise at Rano as well. Though they did not open the gate for those people that want to buy fuel. So on getting to church, on getting to Kefia, I decided to fuel my car. So I bought the fuel at the rate of 300 naira per liter. After finish at church, I decided that okay, I want to get more fuel. So on getting to Rano now, we were being informed that NNPC is selling fuel at the rate of 500 naira per liter. And those people have Rano as well, and Bovas, they are yet to answer us to open the gate for us to fuel our vehicle. So we would like to indulge the federal government to wade into this, because this is getting too much.
The respondents call on government to do everything within its power to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians and not implement policies that will further impoverish them. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
The Nigerian Labour Congress has rejected the new pump prices for petroleum products announced by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, saying it was against the interest of deregulation. In a statement by its president, Joe Ajaero, the NLC called on the federal government to immediately instruct the NNPCL to withdraw this fictitious pricing template to allow free flow of discussions by the parties. The labor movement noted that the oil giant couldn't be talking of deregulation in one breath and price fixing in another. The NNPCL today jacked up the pump prices of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol, by over 200%, bringing the price of fuel to between 488 naira and 557 naira per liter. The NLC argued that the decision to announce a new pump price regime is against the interest of the social dialogue. The NLC threatened to pull out of the talks with the government if nothing is done to withdraw the new price template so that the dialogue can continue. In fulfillment of his electoral pledge to revitalize the civil service, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has inaugurated the newly appointed permanent secretaries, thereby putting an end to the era of coordinating directors in the state civil service. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekunlekun has more on the report.
Flanked with his deputy Prince Kola Adewusi, the chief of staff to the governor Alhaji Kasim Akinleye, and the secretary to the state government Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke was welcomed by a number of civil servants who came to identify with their friends and bosses who got elevated to the position of permanent secretary. Addressing the gathering, Senator Ademola Adeleke described the position of coordinating directors in the civil service as an aberration which his administration has come to correct. Senator Adeleke, who noted that there is no favoritism in the appointment of new permanent secretaries, maintained that the issue of seniority, geographical spread, competence, character, and freedom from disciplinary actions are part of the necessary factors considered in their choice. Noting that the permanent secretaries are his representatives in their various ministries, departments, and agencies, the governor implored them to be loyal to the present administration and be committed to the implementation of its 5-point action plans. The governor also said that his commitment to repositioning the State Broadcasting Corporation led to the uplift of the position of its Director General to that of a permanent secretary, thereby assuring those who could not make the list of the permanent secretary now to keep their hope alive, as their chances of reaching the pinnacle of their careers are high under his administration.
In your various years, you are representatives of the governor and invariably of the people. Therefore, you must stand tall and be example. You must be loyal to the administration and must be wholly committed to the implementation of the 5-point agenda plan of our government.
In his speech, the head of service, Mr. Leye Aina, appreciated the governor for always showing concern to issues relating to civil servants. He described the action taken by the governor as the end of an era and the beginning of another in the state civil service. Mr. Aina therefore called on the newly appointed permanent secretaries to justify the appointment by being diligent in their various assignments.
That you will be focused, loyal, and committed to this administration. For being focused, loyal, and committed to this administration. And I look forward to seeing you, to work with you in our forum. God helping us.
Some of the permanent secretaries, including Mr. Rashid Folarami, Abimbola Babatunde, and Murita Lajimo, appreciated Governor Ademola Adeleke for expressing his belief in their ability to take active part in developing the state.
I feel highly fulfilled. It's something we've been looking forward to, and we thank God Almighty for making it possible during the reign of Senator Ademola Adeleke. We thank you for that.
Yes, I'm very happy, highly elated. I'm so glad that I've reached the peak of my career. It has been a long journey, but we thank God for his message today. And we want to thank the governor, His Excellency, Governor Ademola Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke, our amiable governor. The governor that has been walking the talk since he came into power.
Real privilege. Right? Because it's not a right to get to the peak of one's career. And as you can see it, everybody here is joyous, especially most of us who are appointed as permanent secretaries. And to that, we are very, very grateful to Almighty God. We are very, very grateful to the government of Osun State under the able leadership of Senator Ademola Jackson Norudin Adeleke.
The program climaxed with the swearing to the oath of office and allegiance.
In the meantime, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has admonished the newly inaugurated Iyaloja General of Osun State, Mrs. Mary Oyebode, to see her election as a clarion call for effective service delivery in promoting market economy across the state. The governor gave the admonition at the inauguration of the new Iyaloja General in Osun State. Governor's Office Correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun again.
Addressing members of the Market Women and Traders Association in Osun State, who converged on the State Secretariat to witness the inauguration of new Iyaloja General and our executive, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke assured residents of Osun State that he remains committed to good governance with readiness for positive collaboration that will move the state forward. Following the request of market women to elect new leader that will take over from the former executive that have piloted the affairs of the association for the past 12 years, Senator Adeleke said it became imperative for the state government to approve the appointment of the new Iyaloja General, Mrs. Mary Oyebode, as elected by association, stressing that the election and inauguration were in accordance with the rule of law and due process. Senator Adeleke asked them to see their appointment as clarion call for more effective service delivery in all the markets across the state. The governor asked the new Iyaloja General to continue to maintain peace and support government policies in relation to peace, progress and security of all residents in the state, and as well provide effective leadership for members of the association.
I want to charge the incoming president, the Iyaloja General, and other executives being appointed today to see the appointment as a clear call for more effective service delivery both in their county and across the state. We are expected to continue maintain peace and committed to support of all government policies in relation to sustainable development, peace and security of our women and traders in all our markets in the state.
Also speaking, Yeyelua Modupeola Adeleke Sani urged the newly elected Iyaloja General to carry all market women along in her leadership while urging her to always support the state government in the quest to promote trade and economy in the state. Yeyelua Modupeola Adeleke Sani also called on market women to rally around the new leadership for the growth of their association. Earlier in her address of welcome, Coordinating Director, Ministry of Commerce, Industry, Cooperatives and Empowerment, Mrs. Kehinde Odedino, admonished the new executive to maintain a synergy with other stakeholders to ensure robust market economy, just as she enjoined marketers in the state to support the new leadership of Osun State Market Women and Traders Association. Mrs. Odedino promised that the state government will continue to provide a business-friendly environment for all-round development in the state. In her response, the new Iyaloja General, Mrs. Mary Oyebode, was full of appreciation for Governor Adeleke, saying his strategic intervention in the economic sector of Osun State since his assumption of office in November last year has yielded positive results. She therefore promised that the Market Women and Traders Association, under her leadership, will leave no stone unturned in supporting the developmental agenda of the state government.
That report by Abdurrahim Adekilekun was read by Babatunde Bolatito. You are now welcome to our commercial segment.
Diskili, báwo la ti fẹ́ sanwó ni? Farabalẹ̀. 1,000. We go wash plate tire o. Farabalẹ̀ now.
Madam, èló lówó wa?
Brother, na 3,005.
Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000.
Ó yá.
Bring your phone.
Ah, 10,000.
wow, 1,000 naira credit. 9 years turn to 10,000.
Now. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10 times rẹ.
I told you. Now what go tell?
You are welcome back. The Central Bank of Nigeria has said states performed below global average in financial management, governance quality, and borrowings. The CBN added that legal and institutional framework, audit functions, coordination with fiscal policy, and record-keeping of debt by state governments have exposed the level of deficiencies among the states in their ability to manage their debts. CBN Director Monetary Policy Dr. Mahmoud Hassan made this known in Abuja at the opening of the World Bank West African Institute for Financial and Economic Management (WIFEM) Subnational Debt Management Performance Assessment. Hassan, also a member of Technical Committee of the Board of Governors WIFEM, stated that as of July 2019, only 7 out of the 36 states had completed subnational debt management performance assessments. Now welcome to our sports segment. Over now to David Ojo for the happenings in the world of sports.
Flying Eagles of Nigeria have arrived in San Juan ahead of today's round of 16 of the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup tie against host Argentina. Nigeria will trade tackle with Argentina tonight in the quest for the quarterfinal ticket at 10 p.m. at the San Juan del Vicente Naharo Stadium, the Bolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos, where the Nigerian National Cup began in 1945, and Otumba Dikwa Odina Stadium in Ijebu-Ode will be the host venue of the semi-finals of the men's edition of this year's Federations Cup competition. Benden Insurance FC and Warri Wolves will lock horns at the MJA on Lagos Island, and whichever side is able to climb higher on the land will be eligible to play for the prestigious trophy next month. Rangers International, who won the Africa Cup Winners' Cup in 1977 after a string of FA Cup triumphs, will square up with the ambitious Plateau United FC at the Otumba Dikwa Odina Stadium in Ijebu-Ode. Rangers International peeped giant killer Doma FC 1-0 at the Akure Township Stadium in their own quarterfinals, while Plateau United turned back hopeful Kwara United by the same margin in Abuja. In another development, Nigerian Basketball Federation under President Musa Kida has continued to work hard to ensure a successful outing in the 2023 Women's Basketball League. The body today announced the increment of the number of teams that will take part in this year's edition of the championship. According to the new setup, a total of 34 teams will compete in 2 conferences built for Benin City and Zaria. Atlantic Conference games will take place at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, and it will commence on the 1st of June, while Ahmadu Bello University Zaria will stage Savannah Conference later in the month. 8 teams are expected to qualify from the conferences. This is David Ojo reporting for Osbc News.
And now from the foreign scene, a leading rights group, Human Rights Watch, has urged Pakistan not to try civilians in military court, reminding the government that the practice violates the country's obligation under international law. Aishat Mustafa has more on this from our foreign desk.
Pakistan plans to try army court dozens of its citizens accused of attacking military installations during protests this month after the dramatic arrest of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. President Faustin Tudera of Central African Republic is planning to hold a referendum on abolishing presidential term in the country. President Tudera allies proposed the rule change last year, arguing that presidential terms limits were uncommon in many neighboring countries. Critics and opposition parties held protests last year as the reform would allow Tudera to run again in 2025 for a third term. President Theodora has been accused of allegation despite constitutional limits of 2 4-year terms. It will record that the president installed a commission to draft the proposed changes in September, but the country's top court ruled the committee unconstitutional and allowed it. In the meantime, the United Arab Emirates has withdrawn from a United States-led maritime coalition after an extensive evaluation of its security needs. Its Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it was as a result of the ongoing evaluation of effective security cooperation with all partners 2 months ago. The UAE also said it is committed to dialogue and diplomatic engagement to advance regional security and stability, as well as ensuring navigation safety near its shores in accordance with international law. The decision marked a pivotal moment in the region's geopolitical landscape, altering the dynamic of international cooperation in maritime security. The 34-nation task force headquartered at the naval base in Bahrain was formed to counter terrorism and piracy in the Red Sea and Gulf areas. The region contains some of the world's most important shipping routes, and since 2019 there have been a series of attacks on vessels at times of tension between the US and Iran. Mustafa Aishat, OSBC News.
And that ends the major report on OSBC TV tonight. It was edited by Adebare Ejimakinde. I am Kayode Adebayo. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Hello stars, we are back again with a lot of juicy entertainment you can enjoy this season. Star Times has got you covered from TV shows to TV series to kiddies content and lots more. We bring you top-notch musical shows, The Voice Nigeria and The Voice Africa. And coming this June is another dating show, Hello Mr. Right Season 2, where we matchmake beautiful ladies with Mr. Right. Keep up with Jennifer on a new season of Jennifer's Diary as she continues to thrill you with her vocabulary. Watch Brothers and Three Sisters on ST Novella E+. Thrill yourself to our weekly local content on ST Darinkoa and ST Yoruba. Okay, and the icing on the cake is introducing our kiddies channels on Star Times. Toonami, Cartoon, ST Kids, Star Times. Entertain your family.
Ilẹ̀ fi Jésù fi lélẹ̀ lèyí o, ìbá baládùúrà ń tọ̀. Kẹ̀dá máa ṣe rò pé ó yẹ kúrò níbẹ̀, ó dúró lórí àpáta o. Wọ́n gbà pé mi lọ̀gá ńlá o, ìbá wá sí pàṣẹ wọn. Ilé bàbá Bàrákà o, mo gbà kọ́lọ́ máa lọ ká o.
Ọlá sọ mi létí kí n tú kẹlẹ́bẹ̀ jáde. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ o. Dem dey pray make I fall bóyá kàtà.